Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another season of RPM Esports F1 action. We've got Higgsy in the chat already, and we're back. Yep, absolutely. 1 week off and straight into the thick of it with another season. We've got Portugal this season, which we didn't see last time around. I believe we did have it in season 3. It's been a while. It looks a little bit overcast there at the moment for this short qualifying session, of which we've already got pretty much well through that first minute, and we're about to see a car on track. We've got Snellhenk in the McLaren. So, yep, back to we've sort of shuffled things about. No more senior division. Things are sort of organised nice and neatly. With we've got Premier Division on Thursday, Championship Division on Wednesday, and First Division starting off the week here on Tuesday. And with that, of course, new driver lineups and new team lineups, of course. So we'll try and pick up everyone throughout the session and get to know everyone for what promises to be a very exciting season of F1 action. We'll get some information on the screen for you. As you can see, the track's getting rather busy now. Plenty out there on outlaps now. We've got Matty, who's gone out on mediums initially, and you can see the elevation change with this fantastic Portugal circuit. And as we follow Snellhenk round on his outlap, there is actually someone up ahead of him. Not sure who that is. Is it potentially Uglar? It is. So Uglar is going to be the first to start a lap. Still 5 or 6 of them sat in the pits. What are we got going on here? Got some more comments. Spritzy, welcome back. Full grid to kick off. Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. 20 drivers out there. Certainly looking good. And always nice to see a full grid of cars. Who else we got? We've got Smith. Full grid, awesome. Let's go racing. Higgsy predicting an AlphaTauri 1-2. I wouldn't put it past it. Now I've moved to Alpine for this season. Who have we got in the AlphaTauri? We've got Royce and Goa this season then. Uglar already down into Sector 2. There's got some yellow flags. We had a bit of an incident down at Turn 1. We've got both of the Ferraris involved at different points there, and one of the Alphas as well. We've got one of the Alphas actually facing the wrong way. Is he beached there? We've got Haas joining the party as well. So it's all kicking off down at Turn 1, and I think he's just found a gap in the traffic now. That it was Spivey then, yeah. So all being well, we've not lost anyone, so everyone can get back. And a little bit of hopefully that Mercedes wasn't on a lap, was he? It is Danos, and I'm not sure, to be honest. I think he might be on an outlap. I can never trust the graphics on this game. We've got a Haas again on the infield. However, we've got Uglar coming across the line, so I've just missed him. Oh, a week off and I'm rusty already. Snellhenk goes to the top of the pile though, a 19.0. Goran Potner is with an 18.7, and just from a quick look at the drivers out there, Goran Potner, I would have to say, is probably a decent shout to be right up there at the top throughout this season. We've got IJ as well, 19.1, so low 19 looks to be the most popular sort of time at the moment. We've got Goa coming across with a 19.5. Jones, your commentator on Thursdays this season, slots into what was P4, it's now P5 with a 19.3 because Roy's in that AlphaTauri has gone across the line with a 118.3. Danos was on a lap and slots into P3, so 3 drivers into the 118s and one well in the 18s, isn't he? 18.3. A very good first lap straight on the pace. We've got one of the Ferraris there facing the wrong way. That's Richie. He did have some beer emojis out earlier. I'm not sure if he's been on the drink, but he'll find his way back on track. There's a little bit of a gap there to get going again. But that is his first run ruined, of course. So we've actually only got 12 drivers that have set time so far, and 2 of those are very much not representative. So we've got, as we have someone else has just gone right up top. Who was that? Westy, I believe, has just slotted into P4. Yeah, he's down at turn 1 now, so just crossed the line with an 18.8. Just in behind Danos there. Rusty has gone across in the first of the Alphas, 19.3. We've had IJ come across the line again. I think he's improved. Done a second lap on those tyres then, so that's interesting. Just looking to get his eye in. And what else have we got? Very good evening from Backer. We've got Zabi. Good luck, everyone, especially my teammate, who is that? And that's Graham Potter, of course. And we've got Spritzy. Good luck to the Astons, and Backer with his Red Bull support. So everyone's got their team gear on, it seems. And what are we missing on track? Anything happened? No, nothing particularly has changed. Rusty is taking a little bit of a trip through the grass, so a couple of drivers there not having the best of comebacks after a week off. I'm sure we'll all get back into the swing of things very quickly. We've got a Ferrari off at the final corner as well, trying to head for the pits. So I think that's pretty much the majority of the first runs complete. We've got a couple of stragglers still coming through. We've got Inorganic starting a lap by the looks of things. Currently one of 4 drivers not to set a time then. And let's go on board through this first sector. Tricky right-hander on the power through an uphill 90-degree left. And then the first sector time comes up halfway down this straight, and then yeah, this one always sort of catches you out. You always think you can take it quicker until you are off the track and it's all gone wrong. The next left-hander is an absolute nothing. You're positioning the car for what is quite a high-speed right-hander into a much slower second part of it. Again, up the hill before dropping down into a left-right switchback. Absolutely flat out, of course. And then another 90-degree right, tightening throughout. More elevation change. And through another long left-hander. And once again into a tighter left just after it, running a little bit wide, a little bit of understeer in that Williams at the moment. And then the long final couple of corners, turning right, and then sort of up the hill once more as you come onto the start-finish straight. You're going to pop onto the main straight here, and across the line he comes. Where's he going to go? P14 with that, a 20.5. Interesting that Matty on those mediums did a 20.1 to go 13th so far. So the majority of the front runners so far are all in the pits. We've got Jones. I'm not sure if he's on a lap, but he's not got much energy left, so I would imagine this is probably going to be an in-lap, and he's invalidated anyway, so expect to see him in the pits. We've got Richie coming through the final corner, and into the pits as well. Sinful is down at turn 1, heading back to the pits, I would imagine. Danos is starting a lap. We've got, is that Rusty going? No, it wasn't. It was Snellhink. So Danos, let's go on board with him. Down into turn 1. Quite tricky, very short apex corner. It's got a good bit of quiet track here actually, so shouldn't have any issues with traffic. And just wondering if we got did we have a comment coming through that? Not sure on that one. Some yellow flags. That's an AlphaTauri just up ahead. Hopefully that can stay out of the way and not be an issue for Danos as he comes through. He's got the next couple of corners to complete, and we'll get a second sector time for him. See if he's going to be able to knock either of the top 2 off their perch. And it's apparently a purple middle sector, almost 4/10 up on what he's done previously. That's going to be right in the thick of it for the top 2, isn't it? And we've got the bots here already in the comments, so let's just get rid of that. Lovely. Up onto the start finish straight for Danos then. P2, 18.5. Less than 10 minutes into the new season, the bots are back. Yeah, absolutely. Cosmo's mates are here again. Oh dear. It's when we get the hot Tinder babes, that's when we need to act. They're never too far away on the old comment section. What have we got going on then? Westy on an out lap towards the end of it. Snelling invalidated. Smithy, is he on a lap? He could be improving here actually by the looks of things. He does, yeah. Massive improvement up to P2. So good lap there for the McLaren team. Onto the front row. We've got some yellows, not sure what that's for. Is this Rusty coming across the line? No, it was Spivey, who has improved to a 21.0, but unfortunately that's only good enough for P19 at the moment. Someone else has gone back up there. Was that... who was that? Not sure. Wesley starting a lap. Let's go on board with him in the Red Bull. So Backer, I'm sure, will be watching with a keen eye as we come through the first sector. Timing being coming up. What are we going to get for Wesley then? Is it an improvement? Yeah, almost 2 tenths, which would gain him a position to Goran Potner at the moment. Matty has gone up there into P4, and I believe that's a new name for this season, so good start to his RPM career at the moment on the second row. Westy then well out the back of the circuit now. A couple of corners to go and we'll find the middle sector time. It all looks pretty neat and tidy at the moment, doesn't it? Always a little bit wide. Is that going to cost him the lap? No, got away with it. And he's lost a fraction to his personal middle sector time though. Last couple of corners to come. Couldn't quite get on the throttle as early as he'd liked. Hesitated. Now through the final corner, long final corner. It depends what sort of setup you've got on. It can be quite tricky through there. Across the line he goes. Is it an improvement? It is. And he just, I believe, goes ahead of Goran Potner with that one. And yeah, not sure what's going on there. What else have we got going on? We've got quite a few cars back in the pits. Leakey has gone P8, so it's looking pretty decent for Haas so far, isn't it? Good first impression, I believe, with two new drivers to RPM. It seems, as Rusty Oil Can goes up into P7 and he's towing along Jones in P8, and then someone else has gone through Richie up into the top 5 then, so 18.5 is getting a little bit crowded now, isn't it? As the drivers continue to improve. We've got was that, oh, and Rusty spinning out onto the back straight. I believe it was Zabi went through to complete a lap, a 20.0, putting him P15 at the moment. Who have we got out the back of the circuit? We've got Uglar, and I think that's a Red Bull on an in lap. Uglar coming through the final corner. Is he on a lap? I think he might be, you know. So we'll go with him through the final corner. Yeah, he's heading for the line, and it's not actually going to be a competitive lap. Maybe it was an out lap by the looks of things. So we'll stick with him. He's lost the lap at turn 1, unfortunately. Gave him the old commentator's curse there. IJ is leaving the pits. Who's just gone across the line? These blue cars being a constant pain in something. Inorganic was the car to go across the line, and he's just starting a lap. So we'll stick with him and see his first sector time. Just keeps it within track limits on the exit there, and he's pretty much matched his first sector. Needs to gain a couple of tenths. That'll gain him a row on the grid at the moment. Big slide though out of the left-hand hairpin there. We've got some yellows out the back of the circuit. That's one of the Mercedes. I believe it could be Sinful. No, it's Danos then. So Sinful's out in the first sector. Danos is doing what? Starting a lap and needs to gain a couple of tenths if he's going to threaten the pole position. Just 3 minutes of qualifying remaining in this first session of the season. So we're getting through it. And gets turn 1 hooked up pretty nicely. Using all of the track on the entry to turn 3 there. Now 4 is the uphill left-hander. Need to watch that white line on the exit as well, and down the straight he goes. Yeah, pretty much matched his first sector time. So it seems the first sector is obviously it's quite a short sector and only I guess 2 proper corners and a relatively tricky acceleration zone up the hill through the left-hander. But Goran Potner's gone quickest in 18.2. But yeah, everyone seems to have got up to their speed through sector 1 fairly quickly. We've not seen too many improvements through there. It's the middle of the final sector where the time is still to come. It's ended a little bit early there, and that's going to cost him on the exit. Tightened it up for him. So I don't think we're going to see a massive improvement here for Danos, unfortunately. He's got a couple of corners left to prove me wrong as he comes out through the final corner. And track's getting pretty busy down at turn 1, isn't it? With and he's pitting. Will he get another pretty close to the speed limit line? Unfortunately, because the yellow flags aren't separate to the countdown, we can't see how long we've got left in the session as to whether Danos could get in and put another set of tyres on 1:14. No, I believe probably not. GR is retired, I believe, in the pits. IJ is on a lap, I think, so he may be the first one to finish his final run. Aiming for the line. Can he improve on P12 at the moment? No, he doesn't. We've got Goa up into P9. The 2 Red Bulls look like they're towing each other around, are they? They're actually on an outlap at the moment by the looks of things, but it does seem like Westy and Jones are running together. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll try and pick up the Smithy. Is he also on an outlap? Yeah, I think the majority of this sort of gaggle are all on outlaps. Richie, that's it. The pack coming around. Mighty Frax has just finished a lap actually, so he's gone 14th with a 19.4, and with only 5% battery left and an invalidated lap, he will not get any further in the qualifying than that. Support for the Red Bull again from Backer, and who have we got coming across the line? Simple starting a lap. Spivey starting a lap. Richie was starting a lap as well, wasn't he? So I think we're going to have to go back to the likes of IJ, who he's on an in lap. Goa, I think he's also on an in lap. So we're back to the Red Bulls, aren't we? Westy not improving. Jones improving by a fraction. So Westy actually behind then. So not getting a massive advantage from the tow, and maybe losing out being behind his teammate. But we'll see as they come through the final corner and across the line. Can Jones improve and get himself in the top 10 for now? He's on course for about a P9 at the moment. Yep, P9 he goes into. Westy does not improve. Who have we got coming across the line? Rusty goes P8. Richie, I think, has pitted, has he? No, that was Mighty Frax. Who we've got next across the line? One of the McLarens has pitted. We've got a Haas coming around. Matty, not seeing what he's done on this lap. He's coming across the line though and goes pole, 17.9. So first man into the 17s. We've got Goran Potner in the pits. Zabi then has gone across the line in 14th. Spivey will go where? 17th, and the Richie's in the pits as well. Leaky, can he improve? No, he's invalidated and lost that lap. Royce is also coming into the pits. I think that might be it for qualifying, you know. Yeah, that's it. Everyone's either in the pits or seeing the checkered flag. So we have Matty on pole by 3/10 from Goran Potner. Royce, Smithy, Danos, Richie, Westy, Rusty, Snellhank, Jones, Goa, Leaky, RJ, Zabi, Frax, Simple, Spivey, Inorganic, GR, Uglar. Complete your order. Zabi saying he didn't get a clean lap, so that's unfortunate for him. He will line up 14th. I have to say, pretty impressed with the Haas boys. They've made a very good first impression with pole and a solid P12 as well for Leaky. Who else is looking good? Yeah, Goran Potner, I think, will. He's usually pretty consistent. I think he'll pick up some good results this season. Smithy, of course, in the McLaren as well, who we got in the chat. Smith saying awesome lap. Matty, yeah, absolutely. Only managed to get in the 17s right at the end there. I think we probably could have seen a couple others challenging him. I don't think we saw the best of Danos. A couple of drivers, I think the AlphaTauris, pitted on their final runs as well. We saw Westy didn't improve on his final run. Richie also pitted, so I think there's a few out there that have sort of in Zabi's position where they just didn't get the lap together, and it's all looking good for the race. Matty's saying, yeah, hooked it up on that last one, and good luck to all in the race. Well, the race is coming up right now, and it looks a little bit sunnier than it did for the start of qualifying. And more support from Quinn for Red Bull in the chat, and we've got drivers now putting their strategies together, and we'll be on the grid in a very short time. Underway on the formation lap then, hopefully. Yep, got there in the end. A little bit of a delay there for our pole sitter, but Goran Potner's gone. He's not bothered about waiting, so yeah, luckily, thankfully, all underway and yeah, back in position order as well, so no sort of issues there. We've had a couple of lobby issues last year, which was interesting to say the least when that happened, certainly in Spain. But yeah, all underway. 33 laps to come of this Portimao circuit, and let's have a quick look. So the press room is back for this season. We've got IJ saying that Alpine was one of his choices, so he's quite happy with that. Does anyone mention Portugal as being a track for them? Rusty saying Portugal is a track I hate. That's a good one to start with then. Rose saying he likes Portimao. Jones is pretty indifferent to all the tracks. Richie also saying never like Portimao, hope it rains. Well, I think he's going to miss out on that one, unfortunately. It looks pretty sunny at the moment, although you never know what's going to happen. All pretty much, I think that's all the mentions of Portimao. So yeah, we'll try and nip back to the press room. What on earth is going on here? Oh, Matty's missed his grid spot. But yeah, and we've got a fairly big gap here, which has formed behind Spivey for some reason. So the last 4 cars just taking a little bit of time to line up. We've got a Ferrari in there as well, actually, so I think there may be some confusion with the order. We've got a Fisichella moment in the middle there. One of the Astons, Zabi, I think, has got himself out of position quite badly, and it's not reset him, so he's going at quite an angle. We've got 5 lights on by the looks of things, and we're underway with season 5. Big wheel spin by the looks of it from Matty. He's going to get pounced on straight away from Goran Potner. Royce is through as well. Smithy in the McLaren. We've got the other McLaren of Snell coming around the outside. We've got some contact down the back. Cars running off into the tarmac runoff area already, and we've got quite a few cars taking to the runoff and more contact through turn 3. But at the moment, famous last words, everyone is still pointing in the right direction. Not sure if we've got any damage. We'll try and pick that up as we go along. We've got Smithy coming up the inside of the AlphaTauri, then taking P3 as it stands. We've got Rusty making good progress as well, so he might not enjoy the track, but he's made up 3 places so far. We've got Goa dropping down the order. Unfortunately, down 3 places for him. He's down to 14th. Uglar coming up in 15th now, up 5 places from the back of the grid. And yeah, quite a chaotic first few corners there. Richie's down 2, unfortunately. Westy's stayed where he is. We've got a 5-second penalty for Frax for corner cutting and gaining a position by the looks of things. Back to the front, Goran Potner had yeah, a very nice start indeed. Already 1.2 clear of Matty, who just didn't seem to get it hooked up, did he? He was sliding away the back end, trying to overtake him off the start line. Unfortunately for him, and he's got Smithy for company as they come through for the first time. No DRS, of course, until 3 laps into this race. We've got some chat as well, so what have we got going? Matty's saying he didn't get his strategy or tyre pressures then, so what tyre has he started on? He started on the hards, that certainly wouldn't have helped his... certainly wouldn't have helped this getaway. We've got Jones taking a bit of a gamble on the soft tyre. He's the only one to have done that. We've got a couple of hards down the bottom as well. So that's, yeah, interesting to see a mix of strategy. But Goran Potner at the moment is using those medium tyres to his advantage and has about a 1.5 second lead. Smithy, though, is not letting Matty get away. Not getting any strategy together as long as he was happy to start on the hards, which I imagine he would be, because you'd have to actually select them. So Matty can sort of manage his strategy throughout the race. That's not an issue. The tyre pressure one, maybe slightly more so. Spritzy said, "Where's Cosmo's mates gone? Just been and put my best gear on." Oh dear, one of those days had passed you by, mate. Anyway, back to the action. We've got quite a fight going on here now for 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. They're all queuing up behind what was your pole sitter in the Haas. So as we saw with Magnussen, looking like he could possibly get eaten alive here. So Smithy already, without even the DRS yet, is pulling out into 2nd place. Goran Potner sets the fastest lap of the race as we get DRS this time around. And Matty drops down into P3. Rusty on the back of all this. He looks like he's been through the wars with that Alpha already. It's pretty scuffed up down that side. Danos is in P6. Where did he start? He's dropped a position from his start, yeah. And what's going on there? That's the Haas going defensive. And Royce might switch back on the exit. No, couldn't quite get the advantage on the traction. At the moment, yeah, those hard tyres seem to just be struggling a little bit. Jones not making massive progress on his softs, which, yeah, isn't ideal. And, yeah, struggling to make too much of an impact on Snellhink at the moment. Back to the front, what have we got? Rusty. Oh, Rusty's got up into 4th place by the looks of things. So, I wonder if Rose has made a little bit of an error. Although they did have DRS down that back straight, didn't they? So that could be the answer there. Goran Potner, though, 2.2 clear at the moment. We said he was consistent and definitely had good race pace, and he's proving that at the moment. 2.3 clear at the end of lap 3. DRS for Rusty and Matty, but not making too many inroads into Smithy, who seems to be going along quite nicely in a straight line. We're just going to nip back to the position change briefly. Oh, a little bit of contact there, and hopefully no damage for Royce. Although he's going to lose out to Danos with that as well. And Westy, oh, Westy's round! Luckily there's space on the left-hand side there. You can spin it around. That's going to be a little bit tight. Yeah, just spun it around a little bit too much. It compromised him getting going again, but yeah, fortunately managed to let everyone go through cleanly and takes back up his 18th position, but he's lost a lot of time there. Yeah, so just to run through the position changes. Goran Potner up 1, Smithy up 2, Matty down 2 from pole position, Rusty up 4 now from 8th on the grid. Danos stays where he started, Roy's down 3, Richie down 1, Snellink up 1, Jones also up 1 as a result of his teammates spinning. Zabi and Frax both up 4, but Frax has that penalty for gaining position off the track. Leaky and RJ stay where they started. Goa down 3, Sinful up 1, Uglar up 4. Spivey and GR stay where they were. Westy there has just got back ahead of Spivey, so reducing his damage to down 10, and Inorganic has lost a couple of positions, running P20 at the moment. So back to the tyres, and yeah, so there you can see that the majority of the hard tyres are sort of down the tail end at the moment. Leakey takes a 3-second time penalty on lap 5, so he's been getting a bit adventurous with track limits, unfortunately. Grant Partner maintaining that 2.3 second lead, so it's all looking pretty smooth for him at the moment. Smithy doing a very good job also, keeping Matty out of the DRS at the moment, although he's just crept back into that 1 second window. Rusty doing a very good job. We've mentioned from the press room that he didn't like the track. Well, he's going pretty well around it so far. Has the most popular strategy as well, of course, on the mediums at the moment. Be interested to see at what point these hards start to come into play. Yeah, it's just a storyline to keep an eye on, because obviously Matty showed he's got good 1 lap pace. It depends obviously what impact he didn't get his tyre pressures on. Depends what impact that has on getting the temperature in the right window. We've got some yellows. Not sure what that would have been for. I think maybe GR's been round. We've got Rusty taking up P3 and Danos. It's time to have... Oh, Matty! Big sideways moment through turn 1, and contact with Danos there as well. Wonder if there's going to be any damage there. That's not ideal. He's run wide. He's lost the position, and Roy's now coming back as well. In P6, does he have a chance to get ahead? They've all got the DRS. Richie watching behind as well and waiting to pick up the spoils. In that lead Ferrari at the moment. That's the best seat in the house for this battle, doesn't he? And yeah, Matty. Oh, Danos is round. Oh, that was pretty close. He's managed to reverse himself back out of harm's way, and hopefully gets back on there cleanly. Yeah, it certainly looks that way. But once again, as with Westy, he's lost a lot of time. And what's just happened there? That's Richie on Roy's, isn't it? Yeah, that's for P5 all of a sudden. So keeping it facing in the right direction, always important. And Jones now on those softs is starting to make a bit of progress, but there's 6 laps in, so he might have seen the best of them. But at the moment, with everything going on around him, no, he's going into the pits, so very early stop. End of lap 6, coming off the soft tyres for Jones. What's he going to put on? Oh, wait a minute, we've got... Zabby's had an incident. Don't think he has any damage by the looks of it, but he was facing the wrong way onto the start-finish straight there. We've got mediums have gone on the Red Bull of Jones. Spritzy saying tyres are going already for guys on a TT setup. Yeah, it's some of them seem to definitely look a little bit lively at the rear. Excuse me. So back to this battle for P5. Snelling is on the back of it now as well. Richie holding it at the moment. Can't quite get himself just yet into that 1 second window, but he's bringing it down. The gap to Matty ahead. We've got Danos starting to make his way back through as well. Already back up to P10 on the back of Leakey in the house. We've got Goa as well, making some moves. He's coming up quite nicely on these hard tyres now, actually, isn't he? P12 as it stands. He's on the back of RJ. We'll get the DRS as well. So yeah, the hard tyre looking fairly decent. Sinful's on it as well. We'll keep an eye on how he goes. But DRS open at the moment. Can go get it up the inside into turn 1. It'll be a risky one, but RJ did seem to know he was there. Gave him a little bit of space, but it wasn't necessary in the end. What have we got going on back up front? Did we have an overtake there? No. Roy's on the back of Richie. So medium versus medium here. And the Ferrari putting it in all the right places at the moment, but you do get the feeling that the AlphaTauri has just that little bit more pace if you can keep it clean. Going around to the end of lap 8 then, how far do we think the mediums are going to go? I'll be honest, I have absolutely no idea. We've got Frex facing the wrong way briefly. Lost a couple of positions. I think we might even had a bit of a traffic jam there as people stamped on the brakes in reaction to it. Royce looks a little slow in a straight line, doesn't he? If he's got the DRS open, which he has, he's not really sticking with them. That McLaren, as is the case with Smithy, looks pretty quick and is joining the fight. Matty, once again, on those hard tyres, is finding himself under pressure. So lap 9, they've not quite overtaken the mediums as the best tyre just yet. We'll give it another few laps and see where we stand. But as we mentioned, Goa is running along pretty nicely on them in 12th place. Try and keep an eye on all the battles throughout. As Snelling right on the back of Royce in the AlphaTauri around the back of the circuit. Looking to set him up nicely there for a bit of a switchback. That was a good idea. Unfortunately, the AlphaTauri was pretty much parked on the apex, and they're going to go around the outside now through the left-hander. He'll get the DRS, of course, as well, and Royce has actually dropped out of the back of Richie now, so he won't get the DRS, and we might well see an overtake down the start-finish straight. What a lovely shot as they come through that final corner over the crest. And once again, up the hill onto the start-finish straight. Are we going to see a move up the front? No. Snelling's got through, though, into P6, so it's looking very good for the McLaren team at the moment. 2nd and 6th as it stands. On lap 10 of 33, still a very long way to go. So, yeah, anything can still happen. And Royce has now the DRS back, which seems quite effective down this back straight, doesn't it? Jones sets the fastest lap on his newer medium tyres, and RJ picks up a 3-second penalty for track limit warnings. And these two are still running side by side. Snelling seems to have run out of battery power, unfortunately, so he's going to have to sit behind and try and pick up that DRS and recharge a little bit and go again. Has, however, let Richie get 2 seconds down the road. Haas versus Ferrari then. Matty, what is he now? 2 seconds off Rusty. We'll keep an eye on that gap. See if it starts to come down as the mediums get through the best of their lives. Great battle. I can only assume that was Royce and Snelling that we've just seen. As we come across the line, still Grant Putnam leads by 3 seconds. Smithy is 3.7 ahead of Rusty, who's 2 seconds clear of Matty. But we're going to see an overtake here for P4. No, not quite. Richie is just a little bit too far back at the moment. And lap 11, I wonder when we're going to see the first of the medium runners in. Jones still, I believe, the only driver to have stopped so far. Indeed he is. And he's got himself sort of on the back of the pack again, hasn't he? He's catching, 3 seconds off the back of Spivey and GR, who are battling away. So Jones might get a bit of an undercut, but he's sort of committed himself to a two-stopper. And yeah, Smith saying Rose and Snell, yeah, it was a very good battle indeed. Yeah, Jones has committed himself to a two-stopper, so he's going to have to either get very punchy on the overtakes, or a nicely timed safety car would do him a favour, of course. And he's gone very different to everyone else on the strategy. And we'll see what happens. It would be interesting to know if that was intentional from Jones. I know he did say that drivers had readied up on the grid straight away, so yeah, hopefully we'll find out at the end whether he actually intended to start on the softs or not. Richie once again 0.6 off, maybe just a little bit too far behind again. Not got a massive amount of battery power either, although neither does Matty. it has to be said. Snelling is not managing to recharge too much. IJ's in the pits, yeah, off the medium tyres then, so he's come in at the end of lap 11. So they're not getting too far then, if this is a scheduled stop. Hard's going on, and I would imagine the aim is to get those to the end. So how far can everyone else take them? And was that just a bit of a gamble from RJ, or was he genuinely heading towards the end of his tyres? Matty is all of a sudden on the back of Rusty. But, we've lost Snelling. Can we get back on the track? Oh, the sausage curb doing its best to spin him once again there, but he's just about got it back under control. And should now be okay at that point. Yeah, Matty's all over the back of Rusty, but this is more the fact that Rusty's dropped back because he's 5.5 seconds now off Smithy. And we've got more yellows. Who is that? Frax is gone again, and he's facing the wrong way on a very dangerous part of the circuit as they come across that hill. But he's underway again. Do we have anyone in the pits this time? No, we do not. And Matty, 8 tenths behind. Yeah, Rusty seems to have got away with the worst of it. Although now he's out of battery, his red light is flashing, and Matty now could have a run at him down this back straight if he feels like using a bit of his own overtake mode, which he does not. A little bit of a lock up there from Rusty as well. I wonder if he's getting to the end of his tyres, because it's not looking too nicely balanced, that Alpha at the moment, on lap 13 of 33. What have we got going on down the back there? We've got Westy looking like he's making his way back through. We've got 3 cars there. Westy, Sinful and Zabi. Frax, unfortunately, in the other Ferrari, looks like he's cooked the tyres, and would probably be best to get in and put a new set on at the moment, because it's just spin after spin for him as his tyre temperatures are clearly through the roof. Sinful and Zabi still wheel to wheel as they come around the middle sector. Both the leaders in then, Goran Potner and Smithy in. Rusty's in as well. Matty continues, as does Richie. As Frax unfortunately drops to the back of the field, having real trouble with those tyres now. And yeah, so we've got 3 drivers in, that's it at the moment. Leaky carries on as well on his mediums, so he's going into another lap. Not too many stops then, I was expecting to see a few more in than that. But where does Goran Potner come out? Ooh, almost into the side of Snelling. That's it's a very dangerous pit exit here, isn't it? And it can lead you straight into the heart of turn 1. Fortunately, seem to have... Oh, we've got a car off in the distance there in organic, and luckily didn't continue to spin across the infield there, but he's going to lose out as well now as he gets back underway and GR comes through. But anyway, let's focus back on the guy who was leading the race, Goran Potner. He's come out ahead of Westy and Zabi at the moment. Goran more mediums. Yeah, Goran is... he's going 2 stopping by the looks of things. Where is he off the lead? So Matty, we know, is almost certainly 1 stopping on those hards, unless we have a safety car or anything bizarre. What am I looking for here? I know what I'm looking for, the leader. So Goran Potner is 18 seconds. He's got 18 seconds to make up on Matty. It's interesting. It makes things interesting for us. Obviously, he's committed to a 2-stopper because you've got to run 2 different tyre compounds as Danos comes into the pits. So Smithy and Rusty both went hards, yeah, so they are going to 1 stop. So yeah, well spotted Spritzy for that one. As Goran Potner cycled back up through the order. He could really have done with getting ahead of Snelling, couldn't he? Because getting out of it as he had to at turn 1 has obviously cost him a little bit of time, but those mediums now will be coming up to temperature, and Snelling ahead of him doesn't have that much battery power, so if you can get a sniff of the DRS, he should be through fairly quickly. And we'll keep an eye on that gap to the leader. It's already down to 17.5, so it certainly looks like a fresh set of mediums is going to give you some good pace. Smith saying rain predicted. I'm not sure if that's speculation or if he's got some inside information, but very interesting indeed. It looks a little bit cloudy on that shot, doesn't it? It certainly doesn't look as bright as when we started the race, but we're half distance. There's still plenty of blue sky out there, if a few dark clouds. It's something to think about anyway. Goran Partner, though, is it's still a risk, because if the rain doesn't come, he's, as I say, he's committed himself to a two-stopper, because he's not fulfilled the rule of 2 compounds. So he's, if the rain doesn't come, he's got some work to do. So Roy's pits now. What's he going to put on? Is he going for another set of mediums as well? He is. So this is interesting then. So yeah, Travis clearly knows something that we don't. And if the rain is coming, then yeah, by all means, the medium might turn out to be the best thing. I'd still say it's a bit of a risk in committing to the 2-stop. But did anyone? So yeah, those who started on the hards, then, depending on how soon the rain does come, it certainly doesn't look like it's imminent, does it? It's still got blue sky. But the hard tyres on Matty and Goa, if they can get far enough that coincided with a switch to inters, then they'd be looking very strong indeed. Richie, you'd have to say on the mediums, they probably wouldn't go far enough, just judging by what the sky's doing at the moment. But clearly he's trying to stretch this strategy out. Unfortunately, no telemetry yet. I'll be back before round 2, so then we'd, as long as it works, be able to see the tyre wear statistics. But Richie out onto the main straight, still in the DRS, and Matty, as he has been for quite a few laps now. 17 of 33. They're a long way ahead of P3, which is Goa at the moment, on who also started on the hards, but he's about to lose out to Goran Partner, who's coming through on those medium tyres, and he is now then just 15.4 seconds off the lead, so he's closing in. Depends how quick that rain comes as to whether he's going to take Matty or not. What have we got going on in the mid-pack? We've got GR and Danos. I think that's Danos overtaking the Alpine. And oh no! Richie's right. Well, he's had a bit of a moment. It cost him about 6 seconds by the looks of things at the moment, providing he can get straight back up to speed. And yeah, that's unfortunate, because that's going to make things a lot easier for Goran Partner as regards Richie. But takes the pressure off Matty for the time being. And yeah, I don't know with Richie. I think the mediums probably aren't going to stretch, unless we had a safety car now, probably aren't going to stretch to any rain if it does come. And he thinks the same, because he's going into the pits. So what's he going to put on? Does he put a set of softs on, I wonder? He's got to lap 18 on a set of mediums, considering the rain as well. No, he's going for a set of hards, so he's going for the option of, well, if it doesn't rain, I want to be on the right strategy. So a set of hards going on the Ferrari there. So 15 seconds now is the gap between Matty and Goran Partner. And if it does rain, they're your sort of 2 bets at the moment. Starting on the hards, or a stop from medium to medium. Goran doing a fantastic job for AlphaTauri at the moment. Up in P3, Smithy then coming through on his fresh hards into P4. Zabi is doing what Richie was just trying to do and take those medium tyres a very long way. Frax is still out there in 17th place on the mediums he started the race on, and at one point we were saying he'd absolutely cooked them. Well, he's still going out there on them. So I don't know if he's paying for his own tyres or what, but for some reason we're getting some weird ghosting on the back of that Haas. Not entirely sure what that's all about, but either way, Matty on to the start-finish straight. We've got some yellows. That's Rusty, and he's up and running again. He's cost himself a good few positions, and Richie onto the back of him now. Jones making up a position to Sinful. So Jones went soft medium, didn't he? And he's actually doing a reasonable job of it at the moment. It's worked out pretty well, although he's got Sinful on the back of him. coming at a massive amount of speed. What's that all about? I've got Royce as well in there. Oh, there's going to be contact. And the AlphaTauri had to go a long way wide to avoid that one. But unfortunately... Oh, and massive contact. And Rusty's out. Richie's out. And that's going to be a safety car. Yeah, instant safety car. We've got Rusty's car in the middle of the track. I have to say, that first impression, that looked a little unfortunate from Jones there, as he recovered from the spin. And certainly at one point we had one car mounted on top of another, didn't we? And yeah, massively unfortunate for Richie and Rusty there. Richie had only just pit and put those hards on as well, so he'll be thinking, I wish I'd stayed out on the mediums. Matty, though, is using this opportunity to pit, so he's not going to stay out there and wait to see if the rain comes. He's going to come in. What is he going to put on? And he's going to lose out to Goran Potner on track position. Is it going to be a set of mediums going on? Goran Potner takes over the lead once again. Sprixie saying that looked a decent car. I'm not sure, to be honest. I think Jones tried going back on the track and didn't see the car coming. Raining about 5 minutes from Smit Kravitz down in the pit lane. We've got quite a few drivers in the pits actually. We've got Zabby's gone on a set of softs. Good lad. So raining 5 minutes, and that could work out pretty well. Where's he going to come out? He's going to come out just ahead of Leakey and Westy, who are on hard tyres. So Smithy and Danis have stayed out. Matty is pitted. Goran Potner stayed out, but he's on fresh mediums anyway. And I tell you what, all you Aston fans out there, could be looking pretty good this. Zabby saying he didn't get the time in, didn't get a clean lap in qualifying. He's in P5 here on soft tyres, fresh soft tyres, that if the rain does start to come, will be obviously perform better and get up to temperature better in the damp conditions. And Goran Potner looks pretty untouchable today, doesn't he, in race conditions, on a decent set of mediums as well. We could be looking at a Aston 1-2 here, which probably means they'll double DNF now. Anyway, still under safety car conditions, and with all those pit stops, we're still waiting for the train to bunch up. Lap 20 of 33, and so if the rain does come, it's probably going to affect about 10 laps worth of racing. So is it just the Haas that are the new boys to RPM? I believe it is. We've seen everyone else before, haven't we? So Matty second at the moment, Leakey in 7th. It's looking good for them so far. Looking good for Aston, as we've mentioned. McLaren both scoring strongly at the moment. Looks to be some well balanced teams out there. I think we're going to have a good battle this season, and we have Jones on Inters, and is he there? Yes. Just put softs on. It's a gamble, because as far as I'm aware at the moment it isn't even raining. It's going to depend on how soon the safety car comes in. If it comes in this lap, then I would say it's pretty without a paddle, for want of a better phrase. And he's off the track already. He's got absolutely no grip on these Inters. They're not going to catch the pack though, are they? And that does, for some bizarre reason, affect the timing of when the safety car comes in. So we may well get another lap as a result of these two having pitted. Smith saying we have drops of rain, which, yeah, I've just seen one myself. I wonder if anyone else would be tempted to pit under this final lap of safety car conditions. We're going to see Goran Pontner in. Oh, and a bit of a late call there from Matty. Goran Pontner's got a penalty for speeding in the pits. Zabby's carried on his softs. He's committed to his strategy. He thinks he can get a lap or two out of it and pull away up the front. Danos is on old hards. That's going to take some getting going. This is incredible. What a final 10 laps we're going to have on various different tyres out there. Matty is back out just behind Goran Pontner there yet, so everything seems to have stayed in the same position. Leaky, though, had to queue behind his teammate and now getting held for the Mercedes that he's come out into completely. So it all depends on how... Well, it all depends on, first, will the safety car come in this lap? Or is it going to be affected by cars not being on the back of the pack again? And then how wet is the track? We saw at Monza last season in Premier that as soon as the drop started coming down, it was instant into conditions pretty much, and we had drivers coming through that had a nightmare of a race, pitted for Inters under the safety car when it was dry, and the first few drops ended up, I think, even getting up to P2 perhaps. So Goran Pontner is P9 at the moment. He's got 8 cars ahead of him on slicks, five of which are used hards. How good is an Inter going to be against the used hard in semi-damp conditions? We've got the safety car coming in, we're going to find out. And, well, Aston have got the split strategy here, haven't they? As have McLaren to an extent, but still I think on those hards, I think they're going to be a bit tricky. Aston might not be in a bad position here. Zabby on those fresh softs. Goran Pontner on the Inters. What on earth is going to happen when we get underway? I wouldn't be at all surprised to see we're back under a safety car within the next lap. It's one of those moments, isn't it? We've got cars running at all different pace, conditions that aren't really suited to any tyre at the moment. When's Danos going to get underway? He gets going now, and Zabby's going to be across the line. He's going to take the position, so straight into the lead for Aston Martin. And how far up the field can he get on those soft tyres? So he starts pulling away. We've got Danos then, and then we've got yellow flags already. And Westy and Jones have got into each other. So Westy is the one that's facing the wrong way. And Jones has lost his front wing. So yeah, that strategy of him being the only one at one point on the Inters. Obviously, everyone else pitted under the safety car and came out ahead of him, which sort of took the gamble away from him, and now unfortunately he's lost his front wing, so it's gone from bad to worse. Goran Pontner, though, is making his way up the field. GR has dropped down, Inorganic's dropped down. Zabby doesn't seem to have been too many troubles at the moment. Got someone else facing the wrong way now. I think that could be Inorganic. It is. No damage, I don't think, on the Williams. Jones must have some pretty horrific understeer with that front wing. Goran Pontner, is the quickest man on track, isn't he? He's coming through the order here. I think they're going to have to pit either this lap or the next lap for Inters. Starting to see some rain dropping on the surface as well. You can see, so wouldn't be at all surprised to see cars in this lap. Zabby's carried on. Oh, Goran Pontner has gone massively wide. And he has got that 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits, of course. And I've just seen Danos has got the same. IJ also, so plenty of drivers struggling to get it down to the speed limit line with, I imagine, the conditions making things a little tricky. So Goran Pontner is making his way through the order. Matty maybe not so much, although he's about to go around the outside of Spivey, runs out of room. GR facing the wrong way on those softs by the looks of things. Backer saying that's an interesting line from Goran, yeah, absolutely. Although he's coming through. Oh, Royce got a 5-second penalty for corner cutting. Not sure where that one was. It's absolute chaos at the moment. I have no idea what's going on. We've got the majority of the car. We've got Jones on a set of full wets. So It's almost like, I'll see your inters and I will raise you a set of full wets. He's just going for the gamble all afternoon, isn't he? He's tried the softs, he's tried the inters, and now he's trying the full wets. So, wow. Fair play to him. He's got to try something different, I guess. So we've got all types of tyre out there at the moment. We've got soft, medium, hard, inter, and full wet. We've got a Pirelli advert out on track for you. But Zabi's finally in off those slicks, and I would imagine coming in for a set of intermediates. How they're still out there on old hards, I don't know. And Snellhank's coming in, but unfortunately for him, also speeding in the pit lane, which seems to be catching out quite a few this evening. Spivey's carried on mediums. GR's in as well. So, oh, we've got a Haas. Is that Matty? It is. Even on inters has managed to get lost out there. And got some more yellows. Is that just carrying on from this incident? I think it might be. What have we got going on? Rose is up to P6. Leaky 5th. Goer still going strong. He was up 3rd earlier on the hards, wasn't he? He's back up to P4. Hang on a minute. Frax, who went 18 laps or whatever on a set of mediums and was spinning 4 times a lap when he'd cooked them, is into the podium positions. This is incredible. Goran Potter and Smithy have been 1-2 for a lot of the race. Frax, what? I can't believe he's managed to end up in 3rd. Goa doing a good job, looking very good for AlphaTauri and Haas at the moment. Spivey's still out there on the mediums. We've got Jones on the wets, and it doesn't look to be working, unfortunately. It's fair play to him for the gamble, but you just got to be on the right tyres at the right time. He's going to lose so much time that if it did become full wets, they'd pit and still come out ahead of him. He probably needs another safety car, to be fair. Goran Potter leads us into lap 26 of 33. Smithy with him. Frax is in a fairly comfortable at the moment P3. We've got Leaky and Goa battling over P4. Spivey's finally in off those medium tyres, so everyone out there bar Jones is going to be on the inters, I would imagine. As Goa struggling to keep it on track through turn 1. Royce up the inside there, and he's going to be outside from the next corner on Leaky. Can he keep it on the track? Yep, just about. He should get that move done. So it's now AlphaTauri, Haas in 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th. Westy, despite facing the wrong way earlier on and then being in the side of his teammate at one point, is back up into P8 and looking at a hatful of points. Sinful and Zabi, that soft tyre gamble, unfortunately didn't quite work out for him, did it? Although still P10 is going to pick up points. That's about it at the moment. Everyone seems to have calmed down just a little bit. 26 of 33. Things are starting to spread out. So everyone on the inters. That mad few laps has calmed down. We can take stock of things and let's actually just have a look at the position change now. So Frax up 12. Leaky up 5. Matty down 5. So it's been a roller coaster evening for Haas so far. Uglar up 6, Danos down 6, Snelling down 4, Sinful up 7, Zabi up 4. Jones unfortunately down 8. And sticking with those wets at the moment, isn't it? Spritzy saying Smithy for the win. Yeah, because Goran has the penalty, doesn't he? Quite a few penalties out there at the moment. So Frax unfortunately has a 6-second penalty, which is going to drop him off the podium as it stands. Royce has an 8-second penalty. IJ is leading the penalty race with 14 at the moment. That's a decent effort. Good lad. Jones has 3. Leaky has 3. And then we've got Danos, Snellhink, and Goran Potter on 5. Frax on 6. Royce on 8. Yeah, that's all your penalties as it stands. Who's leading the pit stop race? I would imagine it's probably Jones on 4 stops. Yep, absolutely. Everyone else on 2. GR on 3 actually. So yeah, Jones is leading that race at least, and will get a 5th by the end to put a set of inters on, I wonder. Zabi and Sinful having a little bit of a battle over P9 and 10. Leaders into lap 28 then. 2 seconds the gap at the moment, so Goran Putner needs to find 3 seconds out there somewhere if he's going to take what would be a deserved win. But he was caught speeding in the pit lane. Smith just saying looks like rain's getting worse, yeah, and it looks like Westy is copying his teammates, so maybe Jones was the guinea pig. Maybe now he's saying the track's ready for full wets, and Westy in, as is one of the Alpines, I believe. IJ is also into the pits. So, yeah, full wets are on 2 cars now, and shortly going to be 3. And we'll see what sort of time Westy makes up. What's his gap to the leader? He's 40 seconds off the lead. He could be looking at gaining a few places if it gets worse. And now, what, you've got five laps remaining. You're almost at the case where if the rain does get worse, you just try and stick it out on the inters. Depends how bad it gets. If it really did come down, you'd probably gain your pit stop time back in a lap. What is he? 2.3. He's not really closing in on Uglar at the moment, is he? Keep an eye on the delta on the left-hand side, and he's closing in a little bit. Those wets maybe just starting to come in. Does anyone else choose to pit? Frax, Goa, Matty, Royce and Leaky all continue on. Zabi unfortunately doesn't take the gamble. Snellhead going round the final corner. Continues on. It's pretty even at the moment, isn't it? Westy 2.2 still off the back of Uglar. Massive understeer, and that seems to be a big indicator of tyres aren't quite working yet. We saw it with Goran Putner on the Inters when it wasn't quite wet enough for them. So yeah, I don't know. At the moment, it still seems like we're at a bit of a crossover, and maybe the Inter is still just the tyre to be on. But as that rain keeps coming down, it's only going to come towards the Red Bull. It just depends how much time he's lost in the meantime, and it just depends on how many laps we've got remaining, because the leaders are already coming round to start lap 30 of 33, and Westy's still struggling to keep it on the track in places. Does he have damage? No. So it's purely tyre performance by the looks of things. Oh, Zabi's got a 3-second penalty for track limits. Backer saying Westy's looking in a good position. Yeah, but if it Jones retained in the pits. That's interesting. Why would you do that with 4 laps left? If the rain is getting worse, surely you'd stick with it and hope that everyone else tries to make the Inter last. That's a shame. We're down to just 17 runners then. And we're still sort of sticking with Westy to see if these wets do come good. We're potentially missing some battles elsewhere. We've got quite a fight going on here. We'll ignore the penalties for the time being and enjoy what we've got on track, because we've got Frax, Matty, Goa, Royce, and maybe even Leaky's a little bit too far behind at the moment. We've got a 4-car battle for P3 on the track at the moment. We've got the 2 AlphaTauris fighting each other. Goa on the outside, Royce on the inside, and running off track there on the exit, but they stay out of the side of each other, so that's always a bonus. And Goa letting Royce go. But now Leaky's on the back of it. Oh, and Royce running a little bit wide as a result of that. IJ's back in the pits, so I wonder if he's going to put the Inters back on. Westy has to say he's 4 seconds off Uglar now, and Red Bull today have taken every gamble possible to them, and it just hasn't paid off, has it? So, yeah, unfortunately, looks like they're going to struggle to score any sort of significant points today. Lap 31 of 33, Goran Putner still doing what he needs to do on track at least. We've got a car running wide there. Was that Zabi? I think it may have been. That's Leaky, is it? Yeah. Down into turn 1. Still battling for position. Frax then. And Matty back up into P3. He's 14 seconds behind Smithy, so no amount of penalties is going to overcome that, unfortunately. RJ did indeed put the intermediate tyre back on, but now Westy all of a sudden is closing in on Uglar again. I think it's one of those where it's a wet side of the Inter, so the Inters will just about work, but it is pretty wet out there. And if you can get away, if you can keep it on the track with the Inter, you're always going to be quicker because you've got more rubber on the tyre. Potner only 2.4 clear of Smithy, who just needs to keep it on the road and within track limits, and he will take the first win of the season for McLaren. Zabi up into P6, making it a very good evening for Aston Martin at the moment. And may have a look at Frax yet as well. Westy's dropped behind Spivey. It's not worked out on the wets, has it? He's just sort of taking them to the end and hoping at this point, but we're on lap 32 of 33. Not much is going to change now, I wouldn't have thought. But still, we've got these three going at it. And that's Danos. I think he's been facing the wrong way once through there today so far, hasn't he? But, we've got Zabi up the inside of Frax, and they're still going to go side by side through the left-hander, and Zabi takes it up into P5. What a fantastic fight we've had throughout the entire race, to be fair. Anything from sort of 3rd to 7th seems to have been a very good battle all race long. We've got some yellow flags. Doesn't seem to be any major issue. As Frax is dropping back. Does he have an issue? He's down to P8 on track. Not sure what's happened there. But, either way, the leaders are coming around to start the final lap, and all of a sudden it does look like the rain is coming down very hard indeed, doesn't it? Interesting. I jinxed Frax. Yeah, I did. Yeah, sorry. Right, Gordon Potner and Smithy are into the final lap. Matty coming across the line. Royce is actually closing in on him, is he? He's got some serious pace in this AlphaTauri towards the end of the race as the rain really starts to come down. Can he get 3rd place on the track at least? He's got penalties to worry about, but he's running off track as well there. Matty taking a big chunk of that inside curb as they come through. In organic, we've lost out the back at the end of sector 2, unfortunately. Roy's then can't quite look at a move up the inside. We've got Zabi coming on the back of these two as well. It's all closing up for P3 at the moment as the leaders come round into the final sector for the final time. And unfortunately, we're going to have a winner on track who will not seemingly take the win. We've got Spivey facing the wrong way onto the start-finish straight, unfortunately, but we've got Goran Potner has done everything he needed to do on the track. Unfortunately, slipped up in the pit lane, and he's going to come around the final corner to see the checkered flag, but it will be for 2nd place. And for round 1 of this season, Goran Potner takes the checkered flag. Smithy will come across the line in 2nd and get bumped up to the win. So a good evening for the McLaren driver. Matty should hang on by the looks of things to take P3, and he has no penalties, so will take a debut podium, I believe. Very good indeed. And it looks good for the Haas team. They've got 2 drivers right up there this season. Zabi is P4 at the moment. Is that going to stay like that? I think it might do, you know. So yeah, everyone behind him's over the line. So yeah, Goran Potner and Zabi 2nd and 4th. So a good day for the Aston team. That's Smithy's first win in RPM by the looks of things. Good evening also for the AlphaTauri boys. Goa and Royce in 5th and 6th. Leakey debut 7th place. Danos and Frax and Sinful, so double top 10 for Mercedes. Snellhank in 11th, Westy on the hards. On the wets, unfortunately, only 12th in the end, but we'll pick up points for that. Uglar comes across the line, and now we're just waiting for the final few drivers. IJ's already finished a lap down, so we've got GR across in 14th, and Spivey will complete the race, and the final points scoring position in 15th. And very soon we will get confirmation of driver of the day, Leaky. Do I agree with that? Has anyone done better? I would have said Goran Potner, but that slip up in the pit lane probably lets him down. Smithy obviously taking the win, so that would be a fair shout. Let's have a look at the classified results and make a decision as the drivers' top three celebrate on the podium. Three different teams on the podium for the first race as well, that bodes well. It's definitely looking like a very competitive season, and yeah, what is it, 12 rounds I believe this season? Should be a thriller. Unfortunately, quite a few penalties out there this evening, but yeah, Smithy, Goran Potner, Matty, Zabi, Goaroys, Leaky, Danos, Frax, Sinful, Snelling, Westy, Uglar, GR and Spivey and IJ were your finishers. Inorganic, Jones, Rusty and Richie your non-finishers. And I'm going to make a call on driver of the day then. I'm going to go Zabi. He didn't get the best strategy really under that safety car, so I had to work his way back up for a second time. Yeah, I'd say Zabi. Decent drive for him, absolutely. And both Astons, to be fair, like I say, Goran Potner, his only mistake really was speeding in the pit lane. But yeah, congratulations to Smithy on his first win. Thank you very much for joining us, and stick with us tomorrow and Thursday. We've got more to come this week, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Goodbye.